Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about weeks 8 through 12 of pregnancy with baby number 2 and my 12-week appointment, how that went. I'm also going to talk about labor and how I'm feeling about my options this time because I had an emergency C-section the first time around. So if you're interested in what I have to say, then just keep watching and I hope y'all enjoy this video. Okay, so I am currently 11 and a half weeks, so almost 12 weeks, and I had my 12-week appointment yesterday. I feel like weeks 8 through 12 have just flown by, like in between my appointment times and everything. I feel like between 8 and 12 weeks, I started to feel a little bit better. My nausea, well, honestly, all of my symptoms kind of started to ease up. I'm still nauseous at nighttime as of right now. Another change recently, I don't remember what kind of prenatal I was taking, but I think it did make me sick last time with Emerson. It was one that I had left from her. But my friend Megan had some Ritual prenatals left over from her pregnancy, and I've started taking those and I love them. It's way better, way easier to take them. I don't love the lemon flavor, like it's okay, but the aftertaste is just, I don't want to taste anything. So I do keep some cashews by my bed and something to drink to like make that flavor go away after. So I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but for my nausea, I'm taking Unisom and B6. I just take it at night and it really helps. I take half a tablet of the Unisom and then a B6 tablet, and like I said, helps me so much. I'm hoping since the nausea has lightened up so much that it's completely gone pretty soon. I don't feel like I have a ton of symptoms right now. I have had some pubic pain, so I'm a little nervous about that starting so early, but hopefully that's just everything growing and stretching and not the start of pubic symphysis or whatever it's called, because it's awful. If you've had it, you know. I will say that I'm already waking up several times a night to go to the bathroom, and also along with that, when I first lay down at night, getting comfortable is already difficult. It's so funny the way that happens, but last time I had a lot of nerve pain in my hips, so I would always wake up on my back, which made me nervous because you're not supposed to sleep on your back, and that is already starting for me. So yeah, it's not that my belly's big and uncomfortable yet or anything, it's just the nerve pain in my legs. As far as cravings, I've had a bunch of like random stuff that sounds good, but I feel like it changes every day or every week. It has mostly been savory and spicy, but I'm just more of a savory, spicy kind of person anyways. So I guess really as far as updates, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I had my 12-week appointment yesterday, and last time they didn't really talk to me about the genetic testing. They just kind of said that it was optional and didn't really act like they recommended it, so I passed on it. They also said that insurance probably wouldn't pay and that it would be really expensive, so I just didn't do it. And then we found out the gender of Emerson by doing a 4D ultrasound at 14 weeks. But this time my nurse talked to me about the Natera test, and she basically told me that if you claim it through your insurance, it could be expensive because they won't cover it, but if you self-pay, it's only like 100 or 200, something like that, and that would test for like all the genetic testing and the gender. So we decided at our 8-week appointment that we wanted to do that at 12 weeks. And so yesterday I had my blood drawn for all that testing. It was kind of rough. If you follow me on, I think I posted it on Snapchat and maybe in my TikTok video, but they had the new girl stick me. She stuck me twice and still couldn't get all the blood. She blew a vein, and then they had somebody else come over and stick me, so they stuck me 3 times. It was kind of rough, but worth it. And then I didn't really talk to my doctor about anything other than V-Bac. So that's something I've thought about a lot after my birth with Emerson. I have a whole story about it, but basically to catch you up to speed, I was induced at 39 weeks and 4 days, mostly because I live like an hour and a half from the hospital. it was during COVID, so if you were like scheduled, you could do the COVID testing before, and it was just like a smoother process. Your husband could be with you faster, like from the get-go, instead of having to wait. So that was pretty much it. Like, I wasn't induced because I was like super uncomfortable or anything. It was just mostly the distance to the hospital, COVID, and also it was February, so the chance of the roads being bad, and our drive from here to there is kind of rough anyways. I went in at like 9 p.m. on a Monday night, I think. They started everything then, like they started cytotech, I think. Okay, I still have all my birth information from where I took notes to make my video, so I had to go look at that. But they started like softening my cervix and stuff at like 9 p.m. My labor really started kicking up at 12 a.m. But they didn't really do anything. They just kept softening my cervix, and they started Pitocin at 6:45. They broke my water at 8:45. At 9:30 I had my epidural, and then at 10:15 is when all the trouble started. So my blood pressure dropped like severely low, like really low, making Emerson's heart rate dip, and so they put me on oxygen. They gave me a dose of something at 11 to bring my blood pressure up, but it didn't work. So I got a shot in my leg, and that worked better. I was really nauseous. At 12 o'clock, I was dilated to a 3, 1:30, a 4. At 2:20, I was a 5 to 6. At 2:45, I was a 6 to 7. At 3:20, I was an 8. And then at 4:55, my doctor was on her way. So I had Emerson was unstable. Her heart rate was unstable. I had a lip on my cervix, and they couldn't rotate me to like sort that out because they kept losing Emerson's heart rate. So that was kind of the situation. It was more circumstantial than like my body physically couldn't do it. I made it to a 10 and did practice pushes, but now that I've kind of learned more, technically I wasn't a 10 if there was a lip on my cervix. But yeah, so my doctor got there at like 5. They gave me like 30 more minutes to try, and at 5:25 they decided C-section. At 5:40 I was in the OR, and at 5:53 she was born. And it was pretty traumatic. I was just so sick, and I didn't get to hold her for like 2 or 3 hours, which was awful. I wanted to do skin to skin immediately. I was all about breastfeeding, and yeah, that just didn't happen for me. So this time around, I had kind of come to terms with like, okay, if I have to get a C-section, then I have to. But I had asked my doctor at 6 weeks how she felt about V-Bac, and she just kind of said like, sure, if you want to try for it, that's fine. Like, I'm all for it. So yeah, then yesterday she was a little less optimistic, and she just kind of said like, you had a hard time dilating, and oh, Emerson was also sunny side up. They didn't know that until they went to do my C-section, but when they cut into me, her face was right there. And then she also said something about if my baby was any bigger, like if my baby was smaller, then we could go for it. If not, then it was iffy. And Emerson was 6 pounds 7 ounces. Like, she was tiny. So I just didn't feel very confident after that. I asked her how long she would let me go and like what all her protocol was on how she likes to do things. And she said basically that if I did not go into labor on my own before like 39, 40 weeks, that I would be scheduled a C-section. So I just don't feel like that's really giving myself a fair shot at a V-Bac. I would prefer not to be induced, but like if I have the option between just opting for a C-section or being induced at the last minute to at least try for a vaginal delivery, then that's what I'm gonna choose. So yeah, I left there feeling kind of defeated. I posted on Instagram stories and Facebook asking any moms who, first of all, if you've had a repeat C-section, to like reassure me that it's better the second time around. But also I wanted to know all the V-Bac stories. So I got several. I also joined a group on Facebook, started doing research, posted my story, and there were lots of recommendations to get a doula, to change providers to somebody that's more supportive, and basically just to educate myself. So I think that is what I have decided to do. They have a whole list on there of V-Bac supportive doctors, and one of them is actually at my practice. So I think I'm gonna change. I'm really nervous. I do love my doctor, but I feel like if I stay with her, I'm just gonna have another C-section. And don't get me wrong at all, if my baby's in danger or I'm in danger and it comes down to it and I need one, that's fine. But I just want to give myself a fair chance. I think that I'm young and I'm healthy and perfectly capable of having a baby. I also found out that that group that I'm in, they have a podcast. So I've listened to like 3 this morning and already learned so many things. My doctor told me yesterday about the risk of uterine rupture, which I knew about, but basically opting for a C-section does not guarantee that you're not at risk. And actually, I'm not sure what year it was, but there was data 1 year to prove that there was more uterine ruptures from C-sections than there were for attempted V-Bacs. So yeah, I'm really excited and proud of myself for advocating for myself and trying for this. I'm really excited and hope that I get to experience a vaginal birth and a normal recovery process and breastfeeding journey and skin to skin and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that I have anybody that follows me that's in the same situation or is even interested in this, but I feel like it's kind of hard to find info on it in a way, or to find somebody relatable. So I hope that by sharing this, somebody comes across it that it helps, or even just some of y'all that find birth interesting or interested in following my journey and seeing how it goes for me. On another note, we hopefully will get our results back before the gender reveal next Saturday, and I have a wedding all day, and then we're doing a gender reveal, which I'm really excited about. I just can't wait to know what this baby is. I had such a strong feeling in the beginning that it was a boy, but now I don't know, I don't feel as strong about that, and honestly I'll be sad if I can't reuse all the stuff I saved from Emerson. So I'll be really excited either way, truly, and so will Austin, and we're just so excited to know. Emerson is so sweet and loves on my belly multiple times a day. I think I told her like once or twice that there was a baby in my belly, and she remembers and loves on the baby every day. So it's so sweet and reassuring for me. My next video will probably be the Old Wives' Tales gender video, and then the next one will be the gender reveal. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my next upload, and I'll see you in my next video. I forgot to do a bump shot, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Okay, so it's really not much, especially right now. It's still pretty early. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so, and I'm wearing shorts that are kind of compression-y on my stomach, but here is the 11.5 week belly.